What's up, guys? Welcome to week 15 of the build series here. Now that we've got our end post set, it's time to get this last truss ready to go ahead and mount on the end of the building. So you can see here we're screwing on our Soffit extensions. Those were cut nice and accurate on the miter saw. And that truss is about 7 feet tall, so we have to lean that down on the tractor just to reach the top of it. Go ahead and get our fascia board screwed on, and you can see here Dad's helping me pull that into alignment before we nail it. Much easier to get all this taken care of while the truss is still down here on the ground and not 20 feet in the air. We got the soffit finished up. We go ahead and grab that with the tractor and the boom, and as Dad lifts that into place, I'll help guide him into position, and then jump up on the ladder and put in a few GRK structural screws to secure that to the end of the building. Once we got a few screws in that truss, we were able to move the tractor out of the way and use an extension ladder to fill in the rest of the fasteners. With the truss securely fastened, it's time to start finishing up the purlins on that end of the roof. These purlins span 2 trusses and out over the overhangs. And you'll notice as I move up the roof here, a few of these purlins intersected the posts. So I had to go ahead and grab the chainsaw and cut those posts to length to get those out of the way as I work my way up the roof. At about the halfway point going up this section of roof, I stopped nailing the purlins on the very last truss, so I'm only putting nails in the left hand and middle truss. What this allows me to do is run down to the other end of the building and stretch a tape all the way from the left end to the right end of the building to confirm our overall length at the top of the trusses. We discovered that we were about 3/4 of an inch long, so Dad used the boom on the tractor to give that top of that truss a shove, and then I nailed that purlin, which locks the building into its permanent position at the correct 80-foot overall length. After that, all that was left to do was trim these last 2 posts with the chainsaw, and then it's time to move around to the back side of the house. We repeated that process for the back side, installing purlins all the way up this section of roof. And you can notice a little better in this view, I'm actually leaving the purlins long. You can see them bowed up on top of the fascia board and hanging off the left side of the house there. The reason I'm doing that is so I don't have to measure each board, and I took my skill saw up with me, and as I'm working my way back down, Dad was sighting down the fascia board and I was cutting those to length as I go. We found a few spots that were a little bowed, so Dad used the boom on the tractor again to give it another shove, and we nailed things in position as we went and got that fascia board locked in nice and straight. It's tough to see in the time lapse, so I thought I would slow it down and show you Dad getting taken out by a pile of mud. No worries, no injuries.
So I haven't been able to record as much as I would like these last 2 weekends because it has just been ferociously windy and so cold. We've been struggling to stay above freezing at all during the day, which is pretty cold for us. But last weekend, we finally got these end posts set. I dug those holes out again. We got the posts set and got those buried. So it can rain all it likes now. But that weekend, the wind was blowing so bad, we didn't think it was a good idea to pick that truss up. So we left that undone. And this past Friday, we finally got our soffits put on and got that truss up. Still got a little corner detailing left to do here, but that turned out really nice. I can come back this way and you can see it might be an 1/8 of bow in that, and that little end board there looks a little worse than it really is because I haven't cut that off to length yet, but soffit turned out really nice and straight. We got all of the bracing taken down. That was down every side of the building, so just that was a chore, but that made room so we could put in that third row up there of girts. We got that all the way around. I jumped inside and put some temporary cross bracing in that you can see there on the walls. That's just to give us a little bit more stability until we get some sheathing on. So I'm finishing up these soffit tails here on the back porch, and these last few here, I can't screw them from the left unless I had like some 5-inch screws, which I don't have, so they have to be toe-nailed in. And a helpful way to do that is while I'm down here on the ground, I go ahead and pilot drill and get my screws started on the ground. I'll take these up there and then they'll go on this direction and screw right in. Pilot drill those, they won't split, and that makes life a lot easier.
Once I got the soffit extensions finished up the back porch, it's time to go ahead and install the rest of the purlins for the back porch. These go on the same way as the other purlins on the rest of the building, so that went pretty quick. Once I got those almost done, it was time to do the soffit extensions for the other end, and then wrap up the purlins for the back porch.
I have to back way up before you can see the roof on that 212 pitch back porch, but I got all of the purlins put on that today, and we got the soffit extensions put on, which you can see there. So back porch is getting really close to finished, and in the next week or two we got to get going on that decorative front truss so we can get that up and finish up that front porch. If we can get the roof system completed, I'm going to try to find somebody to help me put that roof metal on, and we can get this thing undercover so we can start working on some plumbing. So things are really coming along, looking good.